What's going on? Jumping podcast. We just finished Celtic Throwdown. We're here in Dublin, Ireland, and I'm joined by Mr. Kenneth Bradley.
What's up, man?
You good? So you're like in the middle of a world tour right now.
Yeah, world tour. World tour.
Where you been? You just flew in from Australia.
Yeah, so it was Costa Rica,
Okay.
Summer Jam,
Yeah.
Australia,
Yeah.
Ireland,
Yeah.
Philippines next,
Yeah.
Japan, Birmingham,
Japan.
yeah, Birmingham, then New York.
So you're
back in the States for
you're literally doing that SF2 screen.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Mad. We found out today as well, thanks to Asa King, that you're the only person on the whole CBT that's got points in every region.
It's pretty nice. I like to feel special sometimes, you know what I'm talking about.
So shout out to Evil Geniuses for that.
Shout out to Evil Geniuses for sure. Shout out to them for sending me all over the place.
So how does that work? Like, because obviously everyone that's got a sponsor would like to go to all these tournaments. So like, how does it work for like the people that have no idea how this pro player VIP suite life is?
So, luckily I'm more than a player.
Yeah.
Because people think it's like you have to win everything, and then if you win everything, you'll be able to get sponsored. You know, but a lot of times, a lot of the sponsors don't even know you're placing. You know, like if I go to Monster Energy, or if I go to AMD, or you know SanDisk,
Steel Series?
Steel Series. If I go to any of these guys and I'm like, do you know my placing? What place I got at Celtic Throwdown? Maybe they don't know. Like some of them might, some of them might not. And then if I go to any of those, like, oh, like when's the last time I got third or second or first? No, they don't know that. But Steel Series knows that. Oh no, but I remember when you promoted this. I remember when you promoted that. I remember when you got a bunch of people to buy this headset. I remember when you took over the Steel Series Snapchat and, you know, you got a bunch of views for that. Or Monsters, like, I remember when we did this video or this. They remember stuff like that. So I do a lot of other stuff outside of playing. But luckily, I got ninth at this tournament. But I still probably get, like, top 8 at most of the events I go to. Probably, like, almost, like, maybe, like, 80%
I mean, you were
of them.
pretty consistent. I remember the year that you got sponsored.
Yeah.
You were mad consistent.
Yeah.
And that was obviously travelling off your own back. So it's not like, you know, you did a couple of things, got picked up, now all of a sudden you're able to travel to all these tournaments. You were travelling, you've been travelling for years.
Yeah, I put it
I've been
like,
consistent as well.
Yeah, I paid for all of that, man. It's like, luckily I got picked up by Revolution Gaming early on, and they paid for a couple of things. They paid for like half of the stuff. But before I was even on the Revolution Gaming, I paid for everything myself. But I did it like, I was grinding, because most of the tournaments are on the East Coast, and, you know, you can take a bus anywhere. So my bus ticket is like, I book it super in advance, like 3 or 4 months in advance, $5, $7, or whatever, to go from Maryland to Philly, Maryland to
How
Atlanta.
long does that take?
Maryland to Philly, it's only like 2 hours, too. But I used to go everywhere. I went from Maryland, I went from New York to CEO on the bus, and that's like 20 hours, you know. So I used to.
That's like flying to Australia.
Yeah,
Like being on a
20
bus.
hours on the bus.
Smelly, hot, cramped bus for 20 hours.
Yeah, so I was grinding. I just wanted to go to these events, but it was too pricey. You know, I didn't have a sponsor back then. So then I would room with a bunch of my friends or whatever, just split the cost. Register early all the time. Early registration is super important.
So what you're basically saying to everybody is get your shit together and don't book that stuff 2 weeks. Don't try and do like a Twitch donation drive 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Be on point, fund yourself, make yourself, because that's the thing. Like, you have to provide value in it to the team and to the sponsors.
Absolutely.
And like, if you're on point, if you're organized, if you're not costing them a fortune to get to, with like missing your flights and having to get your flights rebooked.
That used to be my thing. Luckily, the only time EG had to come out of pocket was when I actually got stuck in Australia last year. It was because I looked at my flight, I thought it was one time and it wasn't. So I looked at it, I thought it was 12 noon. But I thought it was like 12 noon or 12 midnight. It was the other way, whatever way around. And like they didn't do it like the States. They weren't like, oh yeah, we just put you on the next flight. No worries. In the States, if I miss a flight, it's like, oh, you're just on the next flight.
Yeah.
There, they was like, no, it's like 700.
Yeah.
750 right now. I'm like, yeah. So obviously I didn't have it. So I was like, EG, Come on, obviously
AJ.
they was upset about that, but that was the first and only time that they had to be like, listen, you made a mistake, and now we got to come out of pocket for your mistake or whatever, you know.
But you still hold down a job as well, right? Or you
Nah, dude,
full-time salary?
100%.
Okay.
Just EG, dude.
Living the life. So
actually,
that means obviously that the promo stuff's mad important then.
Yeah,
for
sure.
That's the bread and butter.
But I actually like took a risk a while ago. Like before I was EG, I quit my job because I saved up a bunch of money. You know, I was.
What did you used to do?
I used to be a banquet server back in the heart of DC, right? So in the heart of Washington DC, our restaurant was like huge. So we got like all the tourists came in. You know, it was like it was a gold mine. So everybody's just making crazy numbers or whatever. So back then I was smart. You know, I was like, I'm just gonna save all of my money. So I saved all this money, had like thousands of dollars just saved up in a bank account, right? So I said it was the ECT. I'll never forget it. It was the ECT where Ray played Fnatic for like some crazy number. It was like 5K or something like that.
Okay.
That's the same one that Mike Ross played Sanford. You know, Mike Ross played Sanford and Gamer B was there, and I think it was Justin and Ricky Grand Finals. It was one of the hypest ECTs ever. And I didn't get to go because my boss was like, no, we're not giving you off that weekend. So I'm like, well, I don't need you. So right after that tournament, I quit. Like, since they didn't let me go to that tournament, I saw how hype it was. I quit my job right away, and I was like, yo, I'm done with this. So I just lived off of like the money that I saved,
savings,
and then somehow I was winning tournaments. Like I said, East Coast, I'm very lucky to be on the East because there's so many tournaments. You know, so many secret tournaments that you can go to that nobody knows about. Get it quick, 500, 700. You can live off of that for a little bit. The next thing you know, you go somewhere here, it's 1,000 here.
Hearing that.
So East Coast is like where it's at, man. I don't know how they do on the West Coast. I don't really see the secret tournaments like that. But the East, it's a lot of those hidden tournaments, those underground tournaments, you know.
Good shit. And obviously now, you know, it's all changed with the CPT, the Pro Tour. So like you picked the right time.
Yeah, I did. I definitely picked the right time.
And you're getting to see the world off the back of playing video games, which is kind of crazy. Like, how does that feel to you?
It's actually the craziest thing I ever thought. Because, you know, back then they always tell you, stop playing the games, you know. You get a certain amount of hours to play a game. And then you got to do your studies. You got to stop this, like go to work, do this or that. Now it's like the more hours you put into a game, the better. Because, you know, you'll be able to win these tournaments and stuff. So it's a little flipped.
I mean, like the Pro Tour, the money now. Like, did you ever think that you'd see someone winning like 100K for playing Street Fighter?
No, not for playing Street Fighter. I always knew that. Like they told me about like the League of Legends Dota guys, and I was just like, man, it's always going to be those.
Do you think we're going to get there one day? Like, can you see someone win $1 million for playing Street Fighter?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, if
Believe that.
I never thought it would get to this point. So it's like $500,000 now. So I'm pretty sure the prize pot is going to get to $1 million one day. Then the prize pot is going to get to the point where first gets to $1 million.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm pretty sure it'll get to that one day.
Like, you know, Evo this year, obviously you were there. It was a crazy experience. We went from, like, because I've been to Evo, I think, 4 years in a row now. And the first year I went, it was massive, like, huge.
Yeah.
And every year it's just got bigger to the point that, like, when I saw they were going to have it in the Mandalay Bay Arena.
Yeah, that was the sixth.
Like, I've watched pay-per-view cards, like, from combat sports in Mandalay Bay Arena. And to see that full up of, like, 10,000 people just to watch, like...
That's
not to take part, just to watch, because I'd seen that in League of Legends. Like they had the LCS series in London, in Wembley Arena, which is like one of our biggest venues, and they sold that shit out 2 days in 35 minutes. And like when Beyonce comes over and does her concerts, that's where she performs. Yeah. So like, you know, crazy. But to see people playing Street Fighter in one of those kind of arenas was mind blowing for me. And yeah, it's kind of, you kind of sit back and think, well, if we can do this, like, and I thought that was way above the limits when we started. I got no idea how high the limits are. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, so awesome time. Like, how are you enjoying Street Fighter 5? Because I know you're finding it kind of difficult to come to terms with at the start. It's an awkward game, right?
It's weird. Like, so I'm not too much of a fan of it. I just love it because it's Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You know? But it's one of those things where I just have like my problems with it. But as a fun factor, it's like 7 out of 10 for me right now. I feel like if they change a couple of things, then maybe it would be like 9 out of 10.
K-Brad gets the job at Capcom, and he gets to choose what they're going to change for Season 2. what does season 2 look like under the reign of K-Brad?
I would change. Obviously, we got to get rid of the lag. The A-frames lag is
just so you can just X that out for everybody.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where obviously I like to play 4. I like to go back and play 4. When I go to play 4 and I go back to play 5, 4 is very responsive. So when I'm playing it, I'm like, oh man, react to everything. You're still not teching on reaction. You had crouch tech back then, but the lag has to go. I think anti-air jabs are a little too strong. So that one thing I would take out. The canceling negative moves into V-trigger and making it like plus some crazy number. I feel like I would take that out. And then maybe nerf the damage all around just a little bit. And not even some crazy number or whatever. Just nerf the damage just a little bit so people won't die in two combos.
Do you think though that might end up in the game becoming a little bit boring and taking a bit too long? Because that was one of the drawbacks in Cross Tekken, right?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where the games are ending crazy fast though. So I don't think. I mean, unless you're like I don't even know which characters like stall out the game. I feel like every character in the game wins pretty fast. Like even Chun-Li, like you're like, okay, you're gonna sit there. I'm gonna just low for a fireball. I'm gonna stand in fierce or whatever. She's doing chunks of damage. Like she builds up a lot of gray life, and then she gets one hit, and you're about to die.
How much of that do you think's down to like the crush counter system though as well? Because that's like giving you free stun combos almost.
Yeah, the crush counter system. I actually like the crush counter system, but I feel like obviously like some things need to be nerfed, like changed, not even nerfed. Like you can crush counter Guile. You can crush counter Guile's EX flash kick, right? But you can't crush counter Nash. You can't crush counter Nash if he does EX flash kick, right?
Well, you can crush counter Guile's normal flash kick as well, and that ain't got proper invincibility on it. It's not like it's a reversal. It's a sick anti-air, but it's not something you can like mash and wake up. But it still gets crush countered on recoveries,
So it's just certain things that, like, just small things that could be changed. And then maybe it's like, oh, okay, this game is super sick. But other than that, like, I enjoy playing like at a high level with all the guys. When I was playing here, I played a bunch of casuals with everybody. I had fun playing and stuff. Learning a new game is always fun. So you learn like where you are as a player, because whenever you're playing fighting games, you get to see where you are. It's not like, oh, maybe you get to see, maybe I was only good in this game. Or maybe I'm only good in games like Marvel. Or maybe I'm only good in Street Fighter 4. Then you play this game, you're like, I'm a pretty good fighting game player. I just need to tweak a few things, I'd be great.
Cammy, why? Like, is it just a character that you love the design of? Or, like, do you think she's particularly good?
Man,
you just being loyal, like.
Yeah, it's kind of like character loyalty now, because growing up I always played Ken, and I was just like, just play Ken. I played Ken in Street Fighter 4. Then I was like, Ken sucks in vanilla, and I was like, I'm not playing this character. So I played Akuma. Then I was like, not really my style. Then I played super fast explosive character like Cammy, and I was like, she's crazy fast. She had instant dive kick. She had damage. I was like, oh, this is my character, and I stuck to her through the rest when she got nerfed, when she got buffed, stuff like that. Then I played her in this game because I'm like, I'm just gonna run Cammy and see. But she's pretty good in this game too. So I think I'll always play Cammy unless she's like terrible.
Yeah.
If she's terrible, then I'll be like, I'm not playing. I'll play her for fun in casuals, but I'll never play her in tournament. But
never thought of picking up Ken in this game, going all the way back.
Yeah, it's just that whenever I want to play Ken, it's just like it's always something to like push me away from him. Okay. Because in this game, I'm like, man, he just wins. He just wins. He pops V trigger and he wins. I'm like, I don't want to be like that, man. I want to actually like earn the wins. Like that's why I love Viper.
Shut up.
That's why I play Viper, right? I played Viper, and I was like, I'm just winning. I don't even know why I'm winning. I'm just doing stuff with C Viper, and I'm just winning. And then I stopped playing Viper for a while or whatever. I feel like I want something like I want to be a character that's top 5 in the game, but not first. Like first or second or third. Ken's not first, second or third, but I feel like I would get a lot of wins that I don't deserve.
Like I spoke to Manny about it a lot as well. Like the way you have to play Ken to be the most effective with the character just feels dirty.
Yeah. That's why I can't play Mika right now.
It don't feel clean. Like I want to play Ken clean. Like I want to confirm. I want to like space and with punish and
Yeah.
nah, man, I need to jump at you and tatsu, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
jump EX Tatsu,
I
jump
need
cross
to
up Tatsu.
standing light kick, run at you, like
Yeah.
all that shit that shouldn't work. I need to do all of that, and
Yeah.
it just feels wrong. So.
That's why I don't even think I would be effective with Ken at all, because in my mind, what I'm doing is negative. So I'm thinking like, what I'm doing is a negative move. It's so hard for me, even with Cammy, to do the knees, and I'm clearly -2. It's so hard for me to do knees and DP or jab. It's so hard for me. Or to do a high dive kick and be like, oh, this dive kick is high. Let me just DP. Let me let it rock. It's so hard for me to
So
think
let's
like that.
talk about arguably the best Cammy in the world.
Yeah, he's definitely the best.
The one China, what's it called? The Z tournament? ZE tournament?
Yeah, Z tournament.
Xiaohai.
Yeah, he just won.
Let's talk about this guy.
Oh,
Because all that stuff that you don't want to be doing,
he does.
he's doing that and worse.
Yeah, he's
So what was the thing you saw him do?
He did EX hooligan. He did EX hooligan into the slide.
Yeah.
The move is +3. Mm-hmm. He did DP right after.
So
I'm like,
what was it? I
move
want to.
is plus. That's like me just doing like jab DP, jab standing strong DP. Like I'm already at frame advantage.
Yeah.
There's no need to do something like that, but he did it anyway. And I'm like, this is crazy. But I see a lot of Cammys doing that. Like Kazunoko, they do the dive kicks. They do dive kicks into DP. They do short dive kick. They'll do short dive kick with land DP right away. I'm just like, what is happening?
Is that to like put their opponents like out of their comfort zone and completely throw their strategy off? Because I guess like if you play a logical way, and a lot of the Asian players play a logical game, like I know what my frames are here, because they know there's shit, like they know
for
what
sure.
you can do here, they know what your setups are, they know what your frame advantage is, they know when you can and can't press buttons. So if you kind of play by the numbers, you can kind of take advantage of that, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure. You definitely like what they're doing is right. But I feel like how long is it going to work?
yeah.
You know, I feel like it will work at the beginning of a game. You know, like stuff like this will always work at the beginning because people don't know what they're doing. They're trying to play the right way. You know, I feel like when the game is broken down, just like Street Fighter 4 in the game, Street Fighter 4, how Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom was, the people that were winning necessarily at the beginning, they started to fall off later on. You know, and then the people that were planned a certain way, that was planned the correct way, that knew the frames, that knew when to block, when to approach, that were super safe and very calculated players, those were the ones that were winning. You know, they had their cheap stuff, yeah, granted. They had their cheap characters, they had their evil reuse, they had their Elenas or whatever, but they were playing super safe.
And that's not happening now in this phase of the SF5 lifeline.
It's the complete opposite. They are playing super
Because we got a great example of that, of like Daigo's new style. Let's talk about Daigo for a minute.
No.
Daigo's new style is all about control, being risk averse, not taking like big risks generally if he doesn't have to. Like he wants to walk backwards and fireball you to death. If he could kill you with just fireballs from half screen, he would happily take that every game.
Yeah.
And anything more that he has to do than that, he's going to try and avoid that if he can. Didn't work for him this weekend.
Didn't?
Can't really do it against China, no. But he started doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
He did like walk up DP, frame traps.
Yeah, just walk up frame trap. It
Like he was playing SF4 like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that it's his. It's like, oh, I know you're gonna get hit with this. Like most people would get hit right there. I don't know. I don't know why. Ray Ray blocked right there. I'm like, most people would try to attack or jab or something, but he just blocked it. I was like, oh, okay, so he would have ate the throw or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but yeah, I don't know why he was playing like that.
I see
now.
people taking the throw as well a lot.
Yeah.
Like in this game, taking the throw will get you killed real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
So just take it. Especially some of the characters in this game, they don't really get too much off the throw. You know, especially mid screen. Like even Cammy, like I throw you, there is no real threat.
Yeah.
After I have to go back and I have to win neutral again. Well, I'm pretty like Cammy's very good at neutral anyway, so it doesn't matter. But a lot of people don't understand that taking the throw is very scary in this game. You lose a lot of damage taking the throw. It's pretty crazy.
How do you feel? Let me just quickly go back as well to some of the system mechanics. Like, how do you feel going from a game where your defensive options included invincible backdash to getting crush countered on backdash startup in this game?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it like that because the way that I look at it, and this is just me coming from 4.
That's a mad swing, right?
Yeah.
From invincibility to getting counter hit on the start.
So, like I said, just coming from 4, see, I like that there was so many different options to go back to neutral, you know? I feel like in this game, once you're on your back to, like, the corner is so deadly in this game. So once you're in the corner, you can potentially just lose. But in 4, there were so many ways where you can just, like, get out of pressure, you know? You can get out. You can wake up jab. You can DP. You can focus attack. You can focus backdash. You can regular backdash. There was a lot of things that you could do to get out. You could DP FADC to make it safe, go back to neutral. So, but they hated that. People, for some reason, hated that. And I actually enjoyed it because I'm like, okay, well, we're back at neutral.
I get to
cares,
outplay
you know?
you again.
You know, like every single option can be beat. It's like, you had to think so much. People think it's like, oh, it's so brain dead. It's like, you had to think. At the highest level, it's like, okay, you're going to DP FADC. I know you're going to DP here. Let me backdash and just punish this DP anyway. So I made the bet. I had a good read, and it was right. So I punished you for it. Or you're going to, like, focus. You're going to focus backdash. I'm going to throw you on wake up. You're going to backdash. I'm going to OS you. I'm going to option select your backdash. There was so many ways to stop everything, but people just didn't like that. You had to stop everything. People wanted it so simple that it was like, listen, you just got to take all of my stuff. You got to take my pressure. You got to take my mix-ups. You got to take everything. So now it's so hard, and then there's characters that corner carry right away, you know? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter where you are on the screen. It's one of those things where this combo is taking you to the corner, and like I said, in the corner, it's super deadly in this game.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
you get touched start of the round
Yep.
with a simple hit confirm, and you're in the corner. And
Yep.
Like that is what it is. The stages aren't even that big either.
Yeah,
So,
not that bad. So it's like Mika, she Irish whips you no matter which way. She throws you this way or she throws you that way. The next thing you know, you're in the corner where she's super deadly. It's like, okay. Like Ken does EX Tatsu, combo to EX Tatsu or EX Shoryuken, same thing. You're in the corner. So most of the time, it's like, why am I in the corner already? I made one mistake and I'm already in the corner. Like,
where I'm gonna get violated as well by some characters.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It makes no sense to me. But I don't know. Like, I think they wanted to make the game super offensive, super explosive. But it might be one of those things where the game's crazy offensive. Then the next version, like they said, what was it? Super
was down back, man. Yeah.
You know, so the next thing you know, season 2 will probably be crazy defensive. They're like, oh, you don't want offense? Okay, we're about to make this game crazy defensive. You're not about to do nothing. And then season 3 will be offense again. Like, it's hard for them to put it like right in the middle,
it's like
right
a pendulum swinging, and hopefully eventually it will reach that equilibrium. Like Ultra, because Ultra is, I mean, you know, aside from the fact that Eleanor's bullshit, Ultra is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I think Ultra was really good. I think, obviously, I think Atlanta, like, that was the only thing. Healing was a little too much. Yeah. But other than that, I think, like, the game was fine. I think it was pretty good.
So obviously people saw your video recently as well, about the VIP rooms and special treatment and top player privileges and stuff. And like I can say, obviously, having seen you travel to a load of events here in Europe, never ever carried yourself any differently. The only way that I would know you any different from us is the t-shirt and the accent. That's literally it, man. Like, you've never expected anything else. You play with everybody, happy to talk, take photos, all that stuff. Like, you know, and I can see that, you know, because you've worked really hard and put money away and come at it with a plan to make this your career, like, you're enjoying it, right?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. The reason that video was like, I don't really make too many videos. You know? People tell me
you
to
should make more.
Yes. Yeah. People told me to make more, but the reason I don't make them is because, you know, like, usually I'm just enjoying the moment. Like, I was in Australia, so I'm just enjoying Australia, just living it up and everything, having a very nice time. Like, we was about to go see these kangaroos and everything, man. I was about to be sick, so going to the zoo. But I see all this craziness on Twitter. I'm looking at it, I'm like, they must be out of their mind. So I'm like, who said this? So first it was the tweet. I'm like, can someone link me to who said this? And then I look at what they were saying, and I'm like, oh, no way. So then I scroll through it's always my favorite picture. It's me, Urio, Momochi, Tokido, and Mago when I was just a nobody. It was like seasons beating like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And this is when I was a nobody, and these guys like are taking pictures with me, and I'm like, wow, this guy's my teammate now.
Yeah.
That's the sickest thing in the world, to like be such a fan and then now he's my teammate. So I'm looking at moments like that and I'm like, you don't understand. Maybe that one player came just to see you. You know, they came all the way here just to be like, oh, that's my favorite player. Let me take a picture. But you don't understand how much you're caught up in your tournament, practicing for top 8. You know, you don't want to be in the venue. Maybe the venue's too hot, too cold. You want to go somewhere else, go out to eat. So now that fan that's been looking for you this whole time just to take this picture, now you're in the VIP room and then this, that, and the third to get away, just to chill out and relax. They're not going to see you at the end of the event. They're not going to see you after the event. If they don't see you while you're in this ballroom, that's it. They went here and they wasted their time. Like, not necessarily wasted their time. They maybe enjoyed themselves, but they went there with a purpose.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money possibly to get somewhere for a very specific purpose.
Yep.
And that didn't get to happen because you wanted to be at your personal hand warming setup.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, no way. Because one, if there was a dedicated time to take pictures and like shake hands,
like
with
meet and greets and stuff. Yeah,
because they have that at Evo, which is nice. So I did the meet and greet. I did meet and greet with Evil Geniuses before. I did meet and greet with Cross Counter TV. They signed the posters and everything. We did that. And if there's a dedicated time, that's fine. It's like, okay, I have my dedicated time. I'm going to go do my thing now and just chill out and leave out. But a lot of these players, they're just there. They play their matches. After they play their matches, they leave right away. So I'm like, you don't really have time to talk to your fans. And then if they are talking to their fans, they say something really quick to them, then they leave out. Now, you don't talk to them as much, and all of a sudden you want a VIP room, so you don't even have to do the small things. And then the thing that they said, well, no, it's like, it's getting a little too hectic. People don't understand. Like, we're trying to practice. And I'm like, well, just practice somewhere. And, like, I just feel like it's, because of the Smash community, they just don't know how to tell their fans that, you know? I just feel like they don't know how to say, listen, I'm practicing for top 8. Let me practice for top 8. Like, even if I'm just stand up and it's a line. If I'm like, listen, guys, I'm just practicing for top 8. Let me practice for top 8. As soon as this is over, I'll sign it. But a lot of people aren't going to do that because people get crazy salty when they lose. And that's one thing I learned. That's one thing I learned to not be. No matter what, people come up to me all the time after I lose. I am always the same person. You know? If you want me to sign something after I lost, I'm going to sign it. You want me to take a picture, I'm going to smile in the picture. I'm not going to do any of these things. But a lot of people won't. So this whole VIP booth, I feel like, was the craziest thing because they're not getting bombarded Monday through Friday. They're getting bombarded through the weekend while you're in the ballroom. So you're not crazy huge like a real celebrity, you know, the ones that's
it's not like you can't go to Starbucks and get a coffee. You got to fucking wear a hat like this. And, you know what I mean? Like, you can't go to the store, can't come at your house because there's people waiting for you in the bushes. Like, you know, you got to worry about whether you pick your nose in public.
That's what I'm saying. Those real celebrities, I like. I'm sorry for the real celebrities, you know? Like, well, they can't go anywhere. They can just be sitting anywhere and there's just pictures all over them. Like, oh my God, this, that, and the third. They got to hide from people because it's like, I would never be able to do anything that I want to do. If they were signing like posters, they was like giving autographs, taking pictures all the time. If they were doing that all the time, they would never have any time for themselves. But these guys, they have all this time for themselves except for at the tournament. It's like, okay, I don't have that much time for them. Well, this is your job. This is what you're doing. Sign these autographs. It's not a big deal.
I mean, I come from a background where I DJ for a living, right? So, again, it's a hobby that I did when I was a teenager, something I had fun doing. I put hours and hours into it, traveled all over the place to do it for nothing, like not getting paid. I'm playing, you know, at the bottom of the flyer on the lineup, first act, you know, getting, you know, free drinks on the night. And I've got to go out and do flyering on the weekend beforehand and stuff, like, and I was happy to do that because I loved it, you know, and to be able to go and do that on a bigger stage was a blessing for me, you know. And now that it's my career, I go to the shows, I play the shows. Anyone wants photos, they ask me. They're always polite, you know. For me, I thank them. I'm happy. I saw Ari say the same. I saw Flo say the same thing. Like, when people ask him for photos, he thanks them because, like, without those people, and you said it as well, without you guys, you know, paying to come to the shows for me or buying the T-shirts or whatever, making the donations, subbing on the Twitch, you know, giving you the views so that you can get that profile so the sponsors are interested in you, tweeting the stuff out. Without those people, we're back where we were playing in basements.
Yeah.
You know, like for nothing in our little small area because we can't get anywhere else. You know, so you have to remember that, man. Like I definitely agree with your point though about like getting left alone in certain instances, because I know there's been instances where like people have come over and tried to talk to people whilst they're playing in tournament. You know, like that stuff should be down to the judges though to make sure that no one's disturbing and getting in the way and bumping into guys. Like you're trying to do your Marvel like Doom TAC loops and like someone's leaning over to pick their bag up and shit. Like that's you in losers bracket. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
like definitely needs to be proper regulation of that, but removing those players. And what do you think about floating as well? Because I made a joke about it on the weekend. Like, you know, Daigo shouldn't have to be playing these gyms to get into top 8, man. Just put him. He's there. Everyone's there to see Daigo anyway. Put him in top 8. I'm joking, obviously, but like, do you feel like the FGC would benefit from more invitational format events? Because kind of have those in other esports, right, where it's just the top players there. The wonderful thing about the FGC is the open format, right? You get all these, you know, the fans can come and take part, and you could theoretically get a top pro player in your pool and get to play a top pro player. You know, you get people who manage to like come out of nowhere and shock, and like, you know, you've done it obviously when no one knew who the hell K-Brad was, and who's this guy? Like he's just beat like who's the first top player that you beat? Can you? I know you can remember.
It was Aqua Silk.
Aqua Silk.
Yeah. So
who's this guy that beat Aqua Silk? You know, like the open format gives you that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
But do you feel we'd benefit as well having invitational events as well?
Absolutely, because people, for the people that tuned into, it was South by Southwest, not this year, but last year
was the first one, yeah.
Yeah. So the first South by Southwest for Street Fighter 4, and they had 16 guys. They invited 16 people out, 16 of the top guys. And they played, and you play against everybody in your group or whatever. Then the people that had the best score made it to the final with top 8. So then they had a top 8 bracket.
It's kind of like playoff system.
Yeah. So then they made it into the top 8 bracket, and then they played for top 8, whoever won or whatever.
Yeah.
That everyone loved that. You know. Now the reason why, like, it's just two separate things that should be going on, because we want to see the upsets.
Yeah.
We want to see, like, oh my God, like, who is this guy that beat this person?
Local hero 420 beat Japanese flying pro player.
Yep.
You know.
So we want to see those things, but then there are events where, like, there are times where people tell me they do not even watch pools. Like even this, even like all of this that happened, most of the upsets are always, they're not necessarily in pools. They're maybe on Sunday, you know, well, top 32. It depends on whatever day you do.
After
top
pools,
32, top 16, you know. So when this happens, you're like, oh wow, this happened here. So a lot of people tell me that they don't even watch pools. They just like they only tune in at top 32.
And
top
if something
16.
happens like that in pools, you know, I can go on Twitter straight away. It's been clipped. You know, someone's ripped it and uploaded the match anyway.
Yeah,
so.
like people's always tweeting about it. So you will see that really quick. But people want to just get down to like the craziness. You know, people want those. These are the top 16
pinnacle
guys.
Yeah.
I want to see them like maul each other. I just want to see them thrown into a cage and just rip each other to shreds. You know?
Did you see Red Bull Kumite?
Yeah, sorry.
Because for me, that's got to be one of the best esports style FGC events I've ever been involved with. Because you had a bit of both. So on the Saturday, you had an open qualifier, right? Where they had 512 people on the day come down and fight it out for like 12 hours. They ran a 512-man bracket in one day, all the way down to 2 people, and then they qualified for the big invitational, which with the other 14 players that they flew in, they paid to fly them in from around the world, and that was just like gourmet games all day long. And you had a bit of both, you know, you had crazy hype upsets and what have you on the first day, and then the second day you just had real high level play, and for me that was a really great format. I
love Red Bull Kumite. The thing I love the most, I think, is the key when you lose and you have to like, well, what do they unlock?
Yeah.
I was like,
you gotta do that walk of shame.
Yeah, man, that's the sickest thing I've ever seen. It was like, get your key and get out.
That's
the thing I love the most. But the top 16 format is crazy. I just love The format is so sick. I love the production.
Yeah,
the production is
awesome.
like the best of the best. So,
But the production's getting amazing across the board,
yeah.
you know. Like, I've got to shout the guys at Combo Breaker. Their production was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
CEO is always incredible to be a part of, and like you're one of the highlights there.
Panda X Gaming, his production is really good too.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the guys, they're pretty sick. They're pretty sick. Like everybody's stepping their stuff up. That's what I love. Everybody's just stepping their game up because as far as the game is, as far as outside of the game, as far as the production, everybody is like we're all growing together.
Yeah.
Like with the whole Evo thing in the Mandalay Bay. So now you see where we are, and people are like, oh yeah. Maybe I don't have to work that 9 to 5. Maybe I can just do this, and then now I can like make a comfortable living out of it. You know, not one of those things where I'm gonna do this, and if I don't win this tournament, top ramen for the week, man. I just gotta eat top ramen. So eat these noodles for the whole week. Put a little butter and some rice in them, like whatever they do to it. But it's actually like a real career,
Yeah.
Like one of those things where I don't have to win this tournament and I can still go eat my steak, Like I like that.
We went in that steak.
Yeah, we definitely got that steak.
So you've traveled around the world the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? This season, SF5 is a new game. Traveled Australia, so that's one territory. You been Asia yet this year?
Not this year.
About to go
But
Asia. Philippines and Japan.
Yeah.
Real soon.
They count what's the name? They count Australia
as Asia,
in the Asia CPT. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely been Europe because we've been seeing you in Europe this year.
Much.
And America as well. So what I want to ask you is where does America as a region rank in K-Brad's opinion right now in SF5?
I don't think America's that good. I think.
Why do you say that?
I think because I feel like Justin is carrying the weight for America. It's one of those things where, like, when Justin was East Coast, it was like East Coast, West Coast rivalry. And I'm like, it's not really a rivalry if it's just Justin, It's not like, okay, East Coast, look at everything that East Coast is winning, though. And it's like, no, look at what everything Justin won.
That's kind of like Golden State getting KD, man.
Yeah.
When Justin moved across, it's like, we got everyone now, So kind of unfair.
Yeah, when that happened, I'm like, okay, so right now Justin is obviously the best. He's the best in
What makes him the best?
He just understands how to win. He understands that he doesn't put him
the will to keep winning.
Yeah, he doesn't put himself in situations where he has to take a lot of guesses. He doesn't put him like his back is not to the wall that much. It's usually your back is to the wall. He's very good at spacing the V skill. The V skill is very good. He's very good at using his stand medium kick. He doesn't really anti-air. He air-to-airs a lot of your stuff. So he sees you jump and he like checks you. He keeps it neutral. And it's one of those things where like the Mikas don't really get him. He keeps it neutral against the Mikas, the Kens, the Lauras. It doesn't really matter who he's playing. He keeps it in like his comfort zone.
Because like you said, that takes you out of a lot of the nonsense.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Because you're not really going to beat him in neutral. It's too hard.
And a lot of the times he lets you get up as well because he knows he can beat you on the ground. So a lot of the times in this game, if I knock you down and you got resources, I'm putting myself in a mix-up, even approaching you on your wake-up. For certain characters, like Ken, for definite. Like if Ken's got super and V-trigger and you knock him down.
Yeah. It's one of those things that he doesn't even risk it at all because his neutral, he's perfect in this game because Karen's neutral is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then Justin's neutral is ridiculous. So it's like they found each other. They found each other. It's like, oh, this is my perfect character. This is the perfect character.
Did he try other characters before her? Because like I don't remember him really using anyone else other than her. Like,
he has a Chun-Li. His Chun-Li is so good. Yeah. It's definitely one of the best Chun-Lis, but it's I think it's maybe a confidence thing.
Yeah.
Like he's so good with his Karen that I don't know if he would pick Chun-Li. But if you play his Chun-Li, it's like, oh, why would you never pick this character in tournament? So I think that's what it is. That's what makes him better than everybody else is that he's very good. Karen is strong, but she's not top 3, I don't think. So she's very strong, and he's just very smart.
How does Justin match up to like the top Asian players, though?
So Justin usually has like some type of block. There's some type of block when he plays like some of these Asian guys or whatever. But He beat Daigo.
He managed to beat Daigo this year at Evo, which got the biggest fucking pop of the day.
Yeah, so he beat him at Evo. He I think he got like 13th or something, so he wasn't too far off from top 8. But he
ended up losing to 2 Chuns, right?
Yeah, he lost to Charithi first, and the way it was just the way he lost. It wasn't even like he technically got outplayed. You know, it was a situation at the end that he knocked Chun-Li like almost full screen, right? Charithi wakes up with forward strong V trigger. It doesn't even look like it hits. It was so far away. I think Justin did standing medium kick, and then he did forward strong, and then it hit V trigger into super, and he lost. He lost because of that. And I'm like,
shows you exactly what we were saying about engaging, man. It's a risk.
Yeah, just don't like if you just do not approach at all, and that it's hard to always think like that at a tournament like Evo. You know, it's like you're thinking about a lot of things. You know, you're getting burnt out because of so many matches that you're playing and playing and playing. You're in that ballroom for like crazy hours. So it's hard to think, oh, I knocked him down. Let me go back to my strategy of not doing anything. He engaged, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, I got hit. So, and he lost because of that. But I think he matches up pretty well with the Asian players. I feel like if he played, he beat Haitani. He lost to Haitani twice, right? He lost at the very first tournament final round. He lost to Haitani twice. Then they had to play again at NCR. He beat Haitani at NCR. He beat Daigo. He does very well against most of the Japanese players. He just hasn't had a chance. He hasn't had his opportunity to fight Infiltration yet. He hasn't had his opportunity to fight Fudo. And when he was playing Tokido, he was up 2-0. He was up 2-0 on Tokido. Mago comes over, says a little something in Tokido's ear.
Yeah.
And then Tokido wins 3-0 after that. Yeah. But he won 3-0 because Justin dropped super twice. So it's not because like he just got outplayed. He dropped something twice, and it was like, okay, man, I lost. And then he fell apart after that. So I think he matches up. He stacks up.
It's like more of a mental block than anything else.
Yeah. I think he stacks up.
Who else is saying shit in America for you?
I think it's Flash and Knuckledo.
Okay.
Those are the two. So
I really like Flash. I like his play style anyway.
It's a very clean style. Like just going off of his block strings. Like when we were practicing and stuff, he would do certain block strings, and then now when I see him go home and practice, his block strings are so clean, so crisp. I'm like, wow, you can't do anything. You just take it very safe. He's very safe, you know. It was but then I think it comes to with playing Vega that you have to play so clean and so perfect because you don't really have a strong anti-air.
No.
And you know, you don't really have a good V reversal because of the fact that it's good for...
Not if you're in the corner. If you're in the corner, it's terrible.
Yeah, so your back is to the wall. You don't get to get someone off you, you know? So I feel like he tries to force neutral, and then when someone finally gets in, it's like, all right, you're Vega. What are you going to do? You know, like your defense is your 3 frames short. That's the only thing that you have. So you can't really wake up super. You can't really wake, like, V reversal. You can't really, can't do anything. So I feel like he's very good, but the way that you have to play with Vega in this game, it might hold him back a little bit, maybe.
Knuckledo, of course, as well. He's using Nash and Mika, 2 characters that I feel are very difficult for a lot of people to deal with in general.
Yeah, Knuckledo always had that style that to play 2 stupid characters. You know? He plays Guy. For America, Gao was great.
Yeah.
No, Gao's not going to be that good if you come over here.
Yeah.
You come over we always talk about that when I come here. Is that the players that was doing amazing in America would not do amazing here. Because Zangief, Snake Eyes was winning a bunch.
Yeah, you come here and
he would get scraped up.
Yeah.
He would get Valmaster, you got Problem X,
Luffy,
you got Luffy,
Ryan Sagat,
Reinhardt Sagat. So I'm like,
it's like a gauntlet.
And then Infectious Hugo. Yeah. So I'm like, if he came to Europe, he would get scraped up free. But the people that he's beating in America, you know, maybe they have a hard time. They have a hard time with Zangief, you know. So just like Knuckledo, he was playing Gao in the Capri.
Yeah.
You know, he mostly played Gao for the Rufuses and whoever else he had to beat. Then it's like, oh, I can't beat you with this. I'm going to play this character, DiCaprio, because I can do whatever I want, right?
And you don't know what the hell to do in this matchup as well half the time.
Just like Nash, like Nash has a strict strategy. Like it's very just like, oh, I'm just gonna be very mobile.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw booms, scythe. I have super now. Do not get hit. It's gonna take a lot of damage, and that does very well against a lot of the cast. But if I can't do it with this character, I have this character where I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know, this Mika character where I just do whatever I want. I just go in. Doesn't really take too much like thought into the character. So you always had that combo. Right?
I mean, how important do you think that is to have a stable of characters in this game? Because a lot of the people that I'm seeing winning are character specialists, really.
Yeah. I think if you're playing the what is it, top was 7. We won't say 5 because the last 2 is always like debatable. So if you're playing those top 7 characters, then you don't really need another character. You don't really if you're one of those Nakalis, Nakali, Cammy, Karen, Chan Ryu. If you're playing those characters and stuff, you don't really need a backup. You can have it. You can have it for whatever characters, but the people that you usually would have a backup for were grapplers in old games.
Yeah.
The grapplers are not that strong in this game. You know, like Geef, they have to take pressure.
Yeah, they're not. Grapplers are very different in this game, especially with slow command grabs.
Yeah, the slow command grabs is what kills them.
You can go in on Zangief, which was like, for some characters, that was completely the opposite to what you wanted to do with Geef. You didn't want to be anywhere near him.
Yeah.
You can actually go in on Geef and you got frame advantage. So.
That's what makes it that's why I feel like you don't really need a second.
Who do you think is gonna come through in the USC and surprise people?
Oh, and surprise people?
Yeah. Maybe not surprise the people that know, but who do you think is gonna establish themselves as like the new names? Kind of like how Smug did in SF4, towards the end. Do obviously, of course.
If Shine continues to travel, Shine, and I think this is Lud's game now.
Okay.
If Lud travels, because Lud has always been really good, and then now he's playing like a very good character. He's always played his character, but now Chun-Li is very good in this game. So I feel like if Lud sticks with it, then he'll be one of the best too. That'll just come out of nowhere and just beat everybody. He got second at ECT this weekend, so this is a start right there.
Okay, and let's talk about obviously Europe. Been there a couple of times now.
Yeah.
What do you think of the overall standard of Europe?
I think the players are really good. I think I feel like they're maybe a little bit better than US. Maybe not by a ton, but I definitely think the overall players are better than the US players. So I have a harder time winning over here than when I went to VS fighting. I didn't make out of pools because I lost to a Laura player and a Buki player.
And I think we have, again, same thing that happened in 4. Just characters. We got different characters.
Yeah,
I mean, we have really, really strong players with those different characters as well. You come here and you don't know the Laura match, you're gonna get Tupac, you're gonna get Afid, you're gonna get Mr. Crimson, and there's even more. You lost to Akram, I think his name was. It's a fight who I'd not heard of before, but he was legit, man. So.
Yeah, I didn't it's a lot of Laura players over here. So if you want to come here, you get the Laura experience. So I like that because I get all this experience from over here because I already know how to fight the stuff that's over there. I already Mika is Mika, so you can't practice too much. But I know my strategy for her. I already know it. So that Nash, I already know how to fight Nash. I get the best Vega training with Flash. I get the best Karen training with Justin.
Yeah.
So Ricky, Chun-Li. So I already know those matches. So when I come over here, I definitely am oh yeah, good. I get to play Laura. I get to figure out how to fight Laura. Or now I just moved over to the West Coast, not too far from LPN, so I can play. I wasn't playing against Birdie and Alex.
Yeah.
But then I come over here and Problem X is so sick. He's so sick with Alex, right? He has the best Alex. So I'm getting to practice with him.
Yeah.
His Bison's really good too. I get to practice with his Bison and stuff. So it's a lot of you guys usually always play characters that are different than us. Always. It doesn't matter what game it is.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for talking to us. I know you're
Oh,
going
yeah,
to do
for
some
sure,
do some sightseeing and shit here for another couple of days, and then you're flying out to the Philippines.
Yeah, want to chill here. Then probably go to the Guinness Factory. Then like
Hey.
later on, and check out that.
And then you'll wake up tomorrow, won't remember what happened.
Yeah.
That's what the Guinness Factory tour is generally like.
Yeah.
What are you saying? You like you're a stout man, beer man? What you?
Yeah, I drink it all, man.
Anything it's wet, you drink it.
Sounds about right.
All good, man. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, definitely, brother.
Cheers, man. Thanks.